Good evening, how are you? Welcome to tonight's stream, release day, Class 700. Who's excited for this one? I know most of you are, but I know there's a couple who are not that bothered. Not many of you though, so yeah, welcome in. Thought we'd take a look, a little bit later than I planned, but we'll give it a go anyway. Talk, how you doing? Nice to see you. Hopefully the sound is all okay. Let me just turn down my iPad that I don't hear myself. Right, so Class 700. So it runs on Southeastern High Speed, of course. It's released today. 7 scenarios, I think there is. Let's just check. Sure, there's 7 scenarios. Let's go all the way back. We will choose a route. Have a quick look at Southeastern High Speed. There it is at the top. Yeah, scenarios. So the 7 that I've not done. So all these 7, these are all these Desiro, I think it is, isn't it? There's some quite long ones there. Hour and a half, an hour. So yeah, 7 scenarios, 7 additional scenarios on what is already a pretty busy and jam-packed Southeastern High Speed, isn't it? I mean, look at all these now. This is just the scenarios. Look at the list of scenarios. That's crazy. Let's just go into that again. Yeah, 27 scenarios. That is crazy. I'm going into the journeys tonight because this is the way I'm going to play this one. So this Class 700, I think it just runs between Rainham and Dartford. So we're going to do a couple of those. All I've done there is the introduction in the training centre. I did one service just earlier today, just to have a quick look at what it's all about. But we'll do this one. This is Rainham to Dartford, and then following that, we'll do Dartford back to Rainham, so you can see it the other way around. So we'll jump in any time now. Farah, how are you? Good to see you again. 2p incoming. Hey, Mr. Water, how are you? Let's just dive in, shall we? Dynamic weather is on. So we'll do this as a first look. As I said, I've had a little look, but I've not. It was just a quick go while I was working, so I didn't really take much in. But we'll see what it's all about. Drive this Thameslink service from Rainham to Dartford. So we're on platform 0, which is quite unique, isn't it? Let's get the key in. There it is. We will put the reverser, of course, into forwards. The lights are over here. Put those on day. There's the GSMO. It's picked up our service head code, the 9P12. Now, let's have a look at the safety systems because they're sort of scattered around here at the back. Let's have a look. Main cab lights, door key switch, DRA, normal, DSD, we'll put that on, vigilance, put that to normal, that's normal, that's normal, that's good, normal, AWS, okay, cool, right.
TPWS and AWS operational.
Right, due to go out at 7:30, so let's have a look outside, shall we? Hello there, Ratty, how are you? West Hempstead, Thameslink. It's a bit ugly at the front, isn't it? Is that just me? A lot of you guys really like this train, so I have to be careful. Strange looking thing at the front, but I like, once again, I said this with Glossop. What I like about some of these trains now coming out, they're not super shiny, are they? See, there's a lot of muck on the side, which is what you would expect. When they come out and they're really, really shiny, it's almost unbelievable, isn't it? Because you never see one like that. So, let's just see where we're calling. We've got Gillingham first, Chatham, Rochester, Strood, Higham, Gravesend, Northfleet, Swanscombe, Greenhithe for Bluewater, Stone Crossing and Dartford, and as I say, we'll run one back the other way as well. Alright, let's lock the doors. We'll have a look at that as well while we do it. Just let me know about the game sound as well. It is a very quiet EMU, this one, so there isn't actually a lot to hear from the train itself. We got a combined throttle and brake handle. We will drop these windows down and you can hear a little bit. We'll have some horn, shall we? What's ugly about it? Just the front. These kind of cheeks it's got here at the front. Why is that not like... Maybe I'm a bit OCD about it being flat at the front, which it isn't. Personal preference, you know. Top, you prefer the older steam and diesel locos, but you can't lie, it's a nice EMU. Yeah. A lot of people's favourite, this, isn't it, even before it came into the game. Ah, there you go. Yeah, Farah says, not the prettiest. The livery's a bit bland. Yeah. It's easy to drive. I can tell you that from the first run I had in it just earlier on. There's nothing too difficult about it. Braking, I will let you know about once I've done a little bit more of it. The AWS is there. There's the rows, which is a sort of we're used to the old dial, aren't we, on this side? But this is all done on the screen in front. There's a few things you can do in here as well in this TMS. So there's bits and pieces you can play with. You can make the screen brighter. You can turn things on and off. I've not really looked at that yet. There is a manual with this one, which in itself is quite unusual, isn't it? It's like the Talent 2, the hamster cheeks off a crash resistance. Ah, there you go then. There you go. So that's useful then. Yeah, so they're all padded, are they, behind there? Some kind of spring resistance or something. Top, you saw one of these once in Peterborough for 10 seconds. Have I got an emergency brake? I got an emergency brake, wouldn't you know it? So that they said that in the preview stream, didn't they? If you didn't cancel the AWS or the DSD within, was it 2 seconds or was it 3 seconds? I think it's usually 5. It will give you an emergency brake, but that's fine. That's what it's there for. That's because I was reading the chat. So, do I have to pop? Let's see if we can do this. Do I have to pop that in, take it out? Anything else I need to do? Let's do that again. I wonder if there's a time thing on it. Oh, we put it into brake, I think. We put it into brake. And then it starts, yeah, there you go. So now, if we accelerate, there we go. So you come out of emergency, put it into some sort of brake position, click the emergency plunger there to reset it, and then you're on your way. So the emergency stop works. I'm gonna have to keep my eye on that now for when that goes off. It's very unforgiving. Right, Gillingham is next. We're already late, fashionably. I do want to try and get up to some speed. I think this is probably the only stretch, isn't it? Because we are stopping at a lot of places. So this is in max throttle right now. It's really quiet. There's a lot of stuff on this Southeastern High Speed, isn't there? Is there anything else that runs on Southeastern High Speed in real life that we haven't got in the game? Because it's already really busy, isn't it? Gillingham is coming up, so we'll go across the crossing and then we're into the station. The Ning 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 train. So have you got any of you guys that are watching, have you picked this up already, or are you waiting, or what do you think? Do you not buy the local DLCs when they come out? So the braking's quite good. Pretty straightforward. Let's see if we can stop it on the marker. Yeah, the braking's alright. If you already know your stopping distances anyway on Southeastern High Speed, then I think you'll be okay with that. Let's just have a quick look inside. This is quite nice, isn't it? The information system. That's a bit different. The other thing is as well, of course, is that you can also see all the way down the train, which is unusual, isn't it? So that's particular to this one in TSW. It's all sort of one unit, and I'm getting lost in the stairs now. There's another one. All right, let's go. Chatham is next. Yeah, the line that DTG use gets all the attention. It's easy to see now, isn't it, why they brought out the new Southeastern High Speed, and everybody thought that's a bit strange. Why would they reissue a route, albeit extended, of something they've already got? And that's probably why, isn't it? They had all this up the sleeve. There might be some more. That's why I was thinking: is there anything else in real life that runs on here that we don't know about yet, or is this going to be it? Like old TSW DLC now, sail on it. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I think there's a lot that do that. I'm waiting for Dave to come in, because I don't know if I'm about to say Dave Melody. I don't know if he's picked this up, but I'm going to predict it now. If he's not there in the chat, I'm going to predict it. If he's bought this, I'll say to him, "What do you think of it?" And he'll say, "Too much stop start for me." That's what he's going to say. I'm calling it. I keep telling him to watch the reviews first, but he's like a bull in a china shop. He goes in there, but he quite enjoys it. He's retired. Why not? Right, overspeeding straight out of the tunnel. Still waiting for Nidatalborn to go on sale. Yeah, that is a good DLC. Do you know, we've not played that much on stream, have we? Apart from when it released. So I will bring that back. I might even bring that back this week sometime, if I get a chance. I do enjoy that one. I think there are some patches coming out for that as well, because the PZB, for example, you can only switch it on at one end, which is a strange one. Going back the other way, you can't switch it on. There's a workaround, but it's a bit of a faff. So I'm looking forward to that. But that route is very different, isn't it? The look and feel, very leafy, quite nice. You don't know how often these ones are, but you saw 3 of these going the other way on one run. Yeah, I think it did say, is it 2 per hour each way? I can't remember. It did say, I don't know if it was in the it was either in the manual or it was in the Dovetail Live article. It definitely says, I'm almost sure it's 2, but saying that, oh no, this isn't one, is it? That's one of the originals. Could be 2 an hour in each direction. Farah, you thought about mentioning it. It looks a nice route. Yeah, if there's anything, just leave me a comment anytime. If there's any route you want, because you know I've got all of them. If there's anything in particular you want to see, just let me know in the comments and we'll do it. Because quite often I'll show the newer stuff, and it'll be just a case of me saying, "Oh, I've not played that for a while. Let's do that one." But if there's anything you actually want to see that you've not got, just let me know. We can always do that. It gives me a chance to go back and play something else. So Rochester is next. Evening, Tommy. How are you? So on this unit as well, you can do a power changeover. I don't think in the scheduled timetable that we've got for this, we don't actually need to use the changeover. But if you're running it in Scenario Planner and you go a bit further on Southeastern High Speed, you can actually do the power changeover, which is over this side. Might do a little video on that actually. I might do one on that and one on the emergency stop as well, because they always come in useful for people. So you can do that, but we don't need to do it with these services. Hey Chris, how you doing? I'm all good, thank you. Thanks for coming in. There's so much on this route now though, it must be, well, I'm saying it must be difficult. I don't know how difficult it is to write the timetable in with so much stuff going backwards and forwards. Got the 700, the 465, the 395, the 375. We've got all sorts going, haven't we, on this route? And it's all got to work its way in together. Okay, Rochester. We're actually back on time pretty much as well, which is good. But I did, you know, when this was first talked about, and everybody lost their stuff over it. Having not experienced this before, not knowing a lot about it, I wondered, is this going to be the DLC? Everybody seemed to want it. I'll be honest with you, it's quite nice, but I don't know if it's been overhyped by the players. I don't know. I think it depends what kind of unit you like, doesn't it? Like Top was saying earlier on, he prefers the old diesels. But it's nice. Drives nice. It brakes nice. The view's very good. You know, the view from the cab. Not so much at the sides, but you don't really need the sides, do you? But it's a nice big wide open window, which makes quite a nice change, doesn't it, given recent DLCs. Usually get the little sort of letterbox on these EMUs. Drop down the hill into Strood. Actually, there is a faster section coming up, isn't there, past Who Junction? So we will get to speed up a little bit and just see what that's like. The squeal of the rails is quite good, isn't it, on these? Reminds you of the Deutsche Bahn stuff. Yeah, it does. Yeah, the sort of... The cab definitely does, doesn't it? All that stuff we get on sort of Ryan Roar Austin, the regional stuff, yeah. And, well, on all the German routes, really, we've got that, haven't we? You almost feel like you can go to the side and turn on the PZB. It is a very similar layout. It's these screens, I think, isn't it? It's the screens and the wide view from the driver's window, I think. Gives that impression. Now, is that going to do that every time I get out of the seat? I'll sit in first class. I don't know how comfy these seats are, though, because look how thin those are. They call them ironing boards for a reason, don't they? Nice and clean on the inside. Right, let's get the doors locked. I heard rumours about that, Chris. I've heard rumours, but only what people have been telling me on the streams. I think that'll be really good if it can. And there's lots and lots of people looking for something like that after On the Road. I will be playing that anyway on the PC, hopefully within the next couple of weeks. So if I can work out how to stream from the PC, then we'll do a bit of that as well, I think. Right, let's speed up while we have a chance. We've got 2.4 miles till we get to Hyam, so let's see what it can do. So it's in max power right now, so this is the acceleration. And this is on the flat as well. No, I think it won't take long at all. Probably by the time the next Steam sale comes around after this one, I'll probably be signing up for those. I'll be honest with you, I've bought it on everybody's say so. I've not even watched anybody doing it. I've seen Codex play it a little bit, but I know he likes to just like ram everybody off the road. I've not seen anybody playing it proper yet. So I'm going to get into that and see what it's about. There's a few of these games though. When I pick them up, I'm gonna have to spend some time offline just getting used to how they work. So that's one of them. I haven't got the American Truck Simulator, although I can imagine once I've played the Euro version, I'll be going for the American version. Are they the same developer? They're going to be the same kind of game, or are they just different locations? Again, I haven't seen anything of that, so I'm gonna have to learn how to play those first before I completely embarrass myself. Train Sim Classic is another one that I'm gonna have to get used to. I'm looking forward to some good runs on that. What else is there? I've got OMSI 2, which is a bus simulator, which looks like, I don't know if you've seen it. It very much looks like a bus version of Train Sim Classic. Must be the same engine. It's just the same kind of look and feel, but buses. I've got that sat there waiting. So I'm quite looking forward to it, really. Bit of a shake-up, bit more variety. And the truck games might stop me getting frustrated with on the road. The achievements might be easier. But TSW, I'm going to carry on with the PS5 version because that's where all my progress is, etc. Plus, I like playing it on the controller. You know, I like playing it on the PS5 controller. Got used to it now. After many years. Same developer, right? Yes, they should sort of look and feel the same. I imagine the American Truck Simulator's longer journeys, is it? Everything's longer, isn't it, in America? A Steam sale on a game about trains at Steam locals which can be played on a platform called Steam. Absolutely. Yeah, I won't go back to on the road. Although I will play on the road if anybody wants to see it. I'm quite happy to play it, but it certainly won't be the go-to. There's another one on the other side of the 700 coming back the other way. Off to Gravesend, just over 4 miles. That front end is growing on me. But I can absolutely understand what Ratty was saying about it's more of a safety feature. That I can get that. So we're coming around to Who Junction. There is a warning board. Jimmy Edwards. Who's Jimmy Edwards? It's not him with the big sideburns, is it? The big handlebar moustache. Well, if you look over here, I always enjoy this because there's Climate Hero. When you come through here, if you've got any downloaded... Oh, there's loads of them. You've got any downloaded liveries for the 66s, you're going to see them at Who Junction. So I've got a store-bought one, and I've got... what else have I got? The Maritime. I've got a Maritime one. And they generally appear there. I've not seen that many Climate Hero ones though, in one place. Yeah, he's Jimmy somebody. Like, I knew who you meant, but I don't know if he is Jimmy Edwards. I can picture him now. He says things like, ooh, rather, and stuff like that, doesn't he? Yeah, I can't remember his name. Could be Jimmy Edwards. So it is good here. You see, we're getting a shift on now, and it runs quite well. The only thing about these timetables is it does stop a lot, so there's not much opportunity to get up to this speed. You've got 66784 named after the Keighley Worth Rail. Is that in the Creators Club? That one, Talk. Slow down for this 50. Yeah, I'll have a look for that then. They don't have their own 66, do they, in real life? Is that a fictional one, or do they have a 66? Got a 30 coming into Gravesend. I do need to go back into the Creators Club actually, because the 395, the Tintin 57 395 that Yoinkyo has made for me, which we ran the other week, he's made some updates to that and resubmitted it. It's a bit of a pain. It doesn't right now. The Creators Club doesn't. If somebody re-uploads something, you have to unsubscribe and resubscribe to get the updates. It doesn't automatically update your subscriptions, which is a bit of a shame, isn't it? I'm sure they must be working on something like that. Because you don't always know when somebody's updated it, do you? Unless somebody actually tells you. So I was trying to get the updated version, but I've still not been able to get it. So I unsubscribed from it for a couple of days, thinking it might reset something. I need to just jump back in and pick that up. But he's put one or two extra bits and pieces on the side in the red section. A real one that visited. I've got you. This looks nothing like a 397 cab, says SNCF. What do you mean? Who said it looked like a 397? What even is a 397? TPE Anglo-Scots. Oh, is that one of the ones that you've been doing your work experience on? Is that what you mean? Now I understand. Yeah, you're at Trans-Pennine Express this week, aren't you? You lost me for a second then. How's it going, SNCF then? You want to work for the railway, or what do you think? I suppose you've only had 2 days there, haven't you? Oh yeah, you went to Carlisle today, that's right. Yeah, that's always a good run. Always a nice run up to Carlisle. Nice bit of scenery as well, over Shap. Even nicer if you get off at Oxenholme and take a trip down the branch line to Windermere. That is a very nice little trip that we sometimes take. It's a pity, really, there's not more locations in the Lake District you can get to by train. There wasn't there? I think some of them got the chop, didn't they? Like everything else. Under beaching. Coniston's a place that we visit quite regularly, and Coniston used to have a railway station in years gone by. So I don't think you could get everywhere, but there's a few places. That would be a good DLC, that, actually. A beaching DLC. Some places before beaching did his thing. Hey LaserJet, how are you? Good evening. Northfleet is next. So we're going up to the newest part of South Eastern High Speed. Well, one of the newest parts. Towards Dartford. You saw Flying Scotsman on the way to Carlisle on Sunday. Yeah, Flying Scotsman's up and down quite regularly. Something quite nostalgic about that, isn't there? I watched a programme about that about 12 months ago, about when it went on a tour to America. That was quite interesting. Taking a train to America. You've got a beer and you've got a kebab. Wow. That's perfect. And then some TSW. That is absolutely perfect, that. Here we're at Northfleet. You don't see it regularly enough. Yeah, it's always up and down around here. Randy's on the pills. The other interesting thing as well in the manual, I don't know if you guys have looked in the manual, there's a train spotters page. And all the numbers that appear are on the train spotters page. So you can sit on the platform and watch them go up and down, tick them off on your list. That's quite a neat idea, that, actually, isn't it? It's not something I would think to do, but it's there. You could do it. I know the numbering they've put in is legit, so you can spot them if you want to. Quite nice. Did I remember that name of the IPA? No, I didn't. But I remembered where I got it from, though. Marks and Spencer's. That's where I got it from. I will, next time I'm in, I'll look for it. It's in an orange can. I'll try and remember. I should be going in this weekend. I'll have a think and make a note. Everyone says that, don't they, about Marks and Spencers? It's not. I don't know. I didn't say I bought anything. I go in there for a look round. This is Swanscombe. Raging Potato, how are you? Good evening. Yeah, I know what you mean, LaserJet, actually. There's a few stops on here. I'm trying to recall if I've even stopped at them before. Usually, when I'm coming along this part of the line, I like to run the Rail Operations Group 37. So I'm really not used to stopping at all down here. So I think some of these stations are pretty new to me. With this, I think this is stopping at every single one, isn't it, on the way to Dartford? We've got Green Hive, Stone Crossing, then Dartford. Then what we'll do is we'll turn around and we'll go back the other way. Your dad loves M&S and Booths. Now, Booths, I think, is local to near us, SNCF, isn't it? They're actually Preston grocers that branched out into bigger things. But I think they're only based around Lancashire, I think. But yeah, Booths can be quite posh. Boots, yeah. Boots isn't posh though, is it? Yeah, Boots have been going for ages. They're Nottingham based, aren't they? Well, they originate from Nottingham. Oh yeah, Eddie Stobart spotters. Yeah, that's quite a big thing, that, isn't it? Before they added the 700, there were very few services stopped at Higham. That's probably why I don't recognise it. I'm not familiar with it. Yeah, the stop's an external view. I don't mind. Depends what train you're driving. Sometimes it's difficult to judge. Yeah, as you say, live dangerously. You can do it, but you'll be coming in, and then you'll have like this part of the bridge, the lift shaft here. You'll suddenly hit it and think, oops, and then you can't see where your stop marker is. So you have to just guide yourself out of the way. Now, purists will always drive from the cab. But I love the external views in TSW. I always have, and that's what I was saying about other sims we've played, like on the road. You can't really be outside the truck and look around like this and not be in any kind of danger. The view's terrible. It's kind of on an axis, and all you can do is this. You can't do this zooming in and zooming out, which is really good. So I do like spending a bit of time out of the cab, I must admit. Stone Crossing is next. You had Booths in Eccles in the 90s, did you? I bet that's as far as they went, though. That's interesting. sent me a link to look at. Where have you sent that, Chris? What, Discord or somewhere else? I don't know if he's still in Farrah. He lives near me. He's not far from me. You haven't worked out the braking pattern, Potato. Being a little too conservative. Just go for it. You know me. I always, even on the DTG stream the other week that I did for Glasgow, Edinburgh, I got to the first stop and I shot straight through the platform. So just live dangerously and just have a go. Just pick it up. As long as you stop safely, I think that's probably what they tell the drivers. There's nothing on those screens. Oh, are you going back or are you SNCF? I've got you. So as well as spotting the 700s, you could do a lot of train spotting generally, couldn't you, on this route? If you stop it, it's a good stop. If you can use it again, that's a great stop. Yeah, that's probably about right, yeah. That's interesting, that, Randy, yeah. I think Booths were Preston grocers from the late, I want to say the late 1800s, you know, with small sort of corner shops. Then they branched out to a large sort of premises in the centre of Preston. Now they've got a big distribution centre which is near me, and they've got various shops spread out throughout Lancashire. So I suppose Eccles is kind of like the edge of Lancashire, isn't it? Into Manchester, so makes sense. It's weird pulling into platform 0 at Rainham. Yeah, right at the beginning I mentioned that because I don't know why, because we have gone into that platform before with the is it the 375, I think. I didn't realise it was called platform 0, which to me sounds quite strange. Normally you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So, you know, it just occurred to me, I don't know much about Rainham, but 0, I assume, wasn't there. It hasn't been there as long as the other platforms. It's a bay platform, isn't it? So have they put that in later for the ones that stop, and therefore named it 0, platform 0? I'd guess so, without knowing, you know, properly. Oh, signal past the danger. I was reading Raging Potato's comment. Oh, dear me. We were right at Dartford as well. Oh, that was a mega fail. Oh, dear me. I was just going to give you a comment then about Edinburgh, Glasgow, and went through the red. Well, there you go. At least we got most of the way through, didn't we? Shall we go back the other way? You'll still get to see Dartford because we're going to start off at Dartford. It was that big long comment from Rigid Potato. Look, 1, 2, 4 lines. I had to read 4 lines. Oh well, not to worry. Oh, this is Rainham to Dartford. We don't want to do this one. We've just been this way. We'll go. Let me go back to the journey mode. We'll do the next one in the journey mode. We'll go back the other way. Another Tintin classic. Yeah, it is difficult though to. I mean, I didn't expect a red there. I should have been paying more attention. I saw Dartford was coming up. I thought, right, here we go. We did have yellows on the way in, so I should have paid more attention. But it is sometimes quite difficult on some games. It's not as bad on this one, but on some games it's really difficult to read the chat and keep your eye on what you're doing. As I always say, that's my excuse. Not to worry, it's all good fun. No, we don't want that one. We want this one. So that's the one we just failed right at the end. Let's do this one, Dartford to Rainham, which is actually 9p15 Luton to Rainham. So let's do that. That could be a short talk. Yeah. I've not done one for a while. Yeah. The funniest ones are where you always get my live reaction like that. I wonder what the hell was going on, because that's the first time I heard the alarm. Do you hear that little alarm that went off in the 700 to say we'd gone through the light? I've not heard that before. So I will put it down to learning the 700 and all the new sounds that we get with it. So we got to hear a sound we wouldn't normally get. Right. I'm going to drive this one properly, he says. So let's get set up. We'll get the lights back on again. It's fairly easy to get set up as well. Put the lights on. That's it. Ready to go. The doors are open. Safety systems. I need to learn which ones. So there's nothing on the first row we need to do. Normal. That's fine. That's normal. Vigilance to normal. DSD to normal. That's normal. Right, so it's just down that second row and that one, AWS.
TPWS and AWS operational.
Oh, I didn't want to do that. Once it's open the... let me shut that. I want it to open the window. There we go. Wait until 9:58. Okay, fair enough. This is Dartford with its neon building. Yeah, you would get your 5 seconds of fame on that one, Raging Potato. You get blamed as well to a couple of thousand viewers. Yeah, what did you actually say? I had an answer prepared as well. Took you a while to get used to the 385. Yeah, it does, but it's a great DLC that though, isn't it? That's another one where there's things to see as well. The Edinburgh Glasgow. Do quite like that one. Are you in the Discord, Randy? Put it in the Discord. I don't think it'll let you in this chat. But if you're in the Discord, I think you're in the Discord. Either that or tweet it to me. And I'll see it. Ah, yeah, thanks for that, everybody. Yeah, 14 watching, 14 likes. Love it. Thank you very much. No, you don't have to shut up. It's my fault. I should be paying attention. It's the 465, isn't it? This what everybody was really excited for that as well when that came out. Right, so we're going back the other way. Stone Crossing is first up. Yeah, there is that ferry. Yeah, you're right. It's just. I mean, I can't say too much, but just what I do. If I watch something and I find it interesting, or it helps me, or it's only a click of a button, isn't it? Especially guides like that, where some of those collectibles in CSW can be a real struggle, can't they? And if you're collecting the trophies and you need to get them, then it saves you wandering around the tracks in desperation trying to find them. I love it, Randy. Oh, of course, yeah, the SEHS branch as well, which is we were waiting for traffic on that, weren't we, the other week when we were running the class 33. We had to wait for some traffic going backwards and forwards in and out of the branch. Oh, is it? It's already in that, is it? It would be great, wouldn't it, in TSW if eventually it would take many years, but if you could sort of link up as much of the UK as possible. I think the problem is that the TSW DLC covers different eras, doesn't it? It's not all the same era. So even if you had a version of every route in the UK, they potentially all run a little bit different. Some parts of it will be electrified, others won't. But it'd be nice if you could get eventually a network of any of the countries, really. Are you not playing it at all now, Farah? TS Classic? Do you not play it at all? Yeah, some time warping, yeah, from Midland Mainland to Peak Forest. Oh, you don't play it. You don't play it at all anymore. See, I'm quite looking forward to it. But that's because I haven't played it before, and there's lots of places I would love to go in TSW that I know you can get to in TS Classic. So the West Coast Main Line being one, of course, that you all know about, which I've been trying to put on the suggestion list forever. Every end of year survey that Dovetail send out, what would be the one route you want if you could have it? And I always answer the same: West Coast Main Line, over Shap, which I've got in TS Classic, and hopefully in the next couple of weeks I'll be able to install that and play it. And I'll actually quite enjoy that. I've watched people play it a few times on YouTube. I know it's quite like watching it because I'm so familiar with that route. So I get what you mean about the graphics, though. I don't think it's ever going to be a patch on this, is it? But I'll still enjoy playing it. But it won't be the main train sim. This will be the main train sim, of course. And I'm hoping the spec of my machine, it's not going to crash like yours has done, Farah. I would hope not. Right, there's a big long message there from Potato. I'm not reading it till I stop. I'm not risking it. There's no red just there, but I'm not risking flying through into that tunnel. I'm going to stop nicely first. There we go. The braking's fine. The braking really is fine. You go into TSC every now and again. Picked up the Bristol, Swansea, North Wales. I've got North Wales Coastal. I've got that one in my Steam library. I think that North Wales Coastal has got Avanti on it as well, hasn't it? So I'm quite looking forward to that. Tok says, what era of the West Coast Main Line? I'm not fussy, to be honest. Do you know what? I've watched a few people run the APT, because that's a Dovetail DLC as well, isn't it? The APT. That looks quite interesting. I might get that for it. What era is the existing route in TSC? Is that like 80s? I think it's BR Blue, isn't it? Is there a class 87? Can't remember. Yeah, I thought you'd have the Swansea route, Farah, yeah. Hope Valley, yeah, that's coming out soon. I quite like that. I mean, obviously, I don't own any Just Trains stuff because I've not launched CS Classic yet. But just in preparation, nosing around websites and things like that, I quite like the Just Train stuff. Evening, Hentis, how are you? Actually, you might know what that add-on is that Farah's talking about, Hentis. That's quite opportune that you've jumped in. Something that enhances the look of TS Classic. I think there's all sorts, isn't there? You can get. There's even an improvement you can get for the HUD as well, which I think kind of like the HUD's there, but it's more transparent. I saw someone playing with that a couple of nights back when I was watching it. I'm good, Entis, thank you very much. Yeah, so Armstrong Powerhouse. Yeah, there's so many different companies involved, isn't there, in the TS Classic. And the mind boggles to a newbie like me. There's signal improvement packs, overhead line improvement packs. I mean, there's some detail going in there if you get an overhead line improvement pack. Back at Swanscombe. Let's let everybody on that's getting on. Have a look at the content feedback on the DTG server. Wasn't driving drifting either. Got you. At least I've got my hands on the PS5 version now, so I've been waiting. I was waiting all day for this. I didn't see anybody else streaming it on PS5 earlier either, which was a shame. But I've got to say, I'm actually quite impressed with it. I am impressed with it. So I hope everybody that was really excited for this, that knows it already from travelling on it and seeing it, etc. I hope everybody else is, well, they should be double excited to you know, what I am. Yeah, I get you, potato. Yeah, there's a lot of pricey stuff. I think you have to really be into it to pick up a lot of that stuff, haven't you? What do you think, Hentis, of the DLC? I think it will be even better. I don't know if there's a plan to, but if a layer does get added to the Brighton main line, that'll be really good because we'll get to do a bit more speed up there, won't we? You've really enjoyed it. Excellent. You put it on the gloss-up line. Wait, does this even get in the platform at Glossop? Look how long it is. It's quite a long train, that. And quite a long walk to the end when you change ends at Glossop as well. Joe's got a scenario out already. I'll have a look for that then. Yeah, 16. It's very long, isn't it? Right, 1.4 into Gravesend. I shall try and complete this run. Yeah, this large window is definitely one of its big features. It's kind of, I mean, the javelin's similar, isn't it? It's got quite a large window. Let's come down for this 30. There's the Avanti javelin going the other way. A Creators Club livery that I've got. City of Coventry, it is. That one. It does sound good over the point work, you're right, yeah. 385 with a letterbox. Yeah. Oh, the AWS, yeah, it tripped me up once before, right at the beginning, because we were talking about it. It's got a shorter time to. Is it 3 seconds? Is it usually 5 seconds to acknowledge? But on the 700, it's 3 seconds. I think I recall it mentioning it in the manual. But I was outside the cab view and we were talking, and it did trip me up at the beginning. Yeah, 3 seconds. Yeah, it tripped me up. But saying that, as we found out, the emergency brake is fairly easy to get out of as well. So that's another redeeming feature it's got. Yeah, the braking's good, but it does take some getting used to what percentage to put the brakes in to slow down, gradually. I'm feathering it a little bit still at the moment. I'm up and down based on where I need to stop, rather than doing it in one sweep. But the more I use it, the more that'll come a little bit more naturally, I think. Let's look at the schedule. We've got Higham, Strood, Rochester, Chatham, Gillingham, and then back to Rainham. I think it's 5 potato normally. Evening, Dave. Here he is. We were talking about you earlier, Dave. So, first of all, have you picked up the Class 700? I think you're going to say yeah. And if you have picked it up, what do you think of it? Because if you have picked it up, you've probably been playing with it since sort of 10 this morning when it released, I imagine. Now let's see if our, once we get to Who Junction, let's see if our Class 66s have changed. See if any of my other downloaded liveries are there. I think Dave's gone off to have his tea. Oh no, he's here. No, here he is. You did get it, but you've been thrashing it on Edinburgh to Glasgow route on AC. Did a few runs, but not for you. Using it on the right. So I said before, right at the beginning of the stream when you weren't around, I said to everybody that was in that you were probably going to say that you've picked it up and it's okay, but it's too stop-start for you. I thought that's what you were going to say, so I think that's what you're trying to tell me there. You've been putting it on the Edinburgh Glasgow so you can give it a good run. So I was kind of right, I think, wasn't I? I know you don't like your stop-start stuff because I think you thought the same about Glossop, didn't you? You quite liked Glossop, but it was a bit too Cathcart Circle for you, wasn't it? Which is another one I know that you weren't keen on. Yeah, I do, Hentis, yeah. On the way out, going the other way, Climate Hero was there in green, but there was 3 or 4 of them. There's only one, isn't there, in real life? There's 3 or 4 of them. Or is there 2 of them in real life? Can't remember. Anyway, there's 3 or 4 of them. Quite often I'll see the maritime one that I've got. And I've got a couple of others that appear sporadically. We'll check anyway when we get to Who Junction. On the way out, there were more Class 66s there than I've seen before. I think there were sort of 4 or 5 waiting there. Let's see. There's probably going to be none here now. Right, I can see something. Here we go. Oh, these are going to be standard ones. Oh, there was loads before, so there's a standard one there. That's the standard one. Oh, what a shame. Right, so this time, nothing but the base ones. Quite a few though. You don't see any, you mean at all, or just on this route? Yeah, if you skip back, what, half an hour when we were going past the other way, you'll see them. They're all there. I need to get a few more actually. I do quite like that Climate Hero one. I've liked that one since I saw it. And I didn't know that was real. What's this? Oh, that's a 700. I didn't know that was real until I sort of Googled it and learnt all about how they ran it all the way up to Scotland on recycled vegetable oil, I think it was. Which I found quite interesting. How do they even do that? Did they mix something in with it or what? I don't get it. I was never good at chemistry, so I'm not really well up on how you turn used vegetable oil into fuel, as opposed to diesel. I think this is a very solid addition to this route, which is, we probably all agree on South Eastern High Speed, it's one of the better routes, isn't it? And has already got quite a lot of content anyway. But I think this is a solid addition to it. I think I like this better than the 465, to be honest. I never really liked the seating position of the 465. It seemed like you were high up for the desk, and you obviously can't change the height of the seat. I got used to it after a while, but initially when I sat there, I thought it seemed like I was too high up, you know. This one has got a bit of everything. I do quite like this one. We've got some reflection there on the desk from the screens, look. "40 individual layers, that's crazy. As I said earlier, that's shoehorning all this into the timetable. Unless they built the timetable originally with everything in mind, you know, it must take you forever to get the timetable built for everything that's running. I wonder how many times you kind of take 2 steps forward and then 3 back because you get one thing working and it has a knock-on effect to one of the other layers and stops that working. That must be frustrating. Although I would assume that the software that they use can you know, replicate all the layers running at once and look for these clashes so that you can iron them out a little bit. But still, it's a mammoth task. It is, yeah, it is quiet, Dave. Yeah, I agree with that. But I didn't know whether that was just because it's an EMU. I've got the windows open, but it is quiet. Yeah, I've not had a fiddle too much yet with this stuff. Yeah, the brightness is there, isn't it? It's fiddly on controller. Yeah, I'll have a play around with that stuff. And again, that is quite well explained in the manual as well, isn't it? Oh, look at the speed now. Completely forgot. Oh, this might not end well. It's a tight curve. No, we're good. We're good. That would have been too much, wouldn't it? Not being able to complete either run in one stream. That would be a new record even for me. Right, let's get all the Strudies on. It's veg oil refined in some way, yeah. I just wondered how they did it. Oh, these. Oh, you mean these ones, Hentis here? Dave, still think DTG need to make a slider for the contrast. The latest deal seems wrong. Yeah, in certain lights, yeah, I'd agree. The cab does look a little bit overexposed, shall we say? Oh, it's the bottom three, is it? Darker, brighter. Is that doing anything though? Am I clicking in the right place? Oh, there you go, day and night. I see. That's quite good. Right, I didn't realise that. Actually looks better with that background like that. So, Rochester's next. On MML, the trains look like they've been eating nuclear fuel. Are we due another set of fixes for MML? I think there's a few things still to be done. I think the DSD still isn't working properly on controller in the HST. It doesn't cancel with the circle button if you're on PlayStation. I don't know if Xbox has a similar issue. One of the first things I tried after the patch that fixed the patch was the DSD, but I've had to turn it off again because I don't have a keyboard, so I can't cancel it with the keyboard, which is a pity. The good thing is I've been managing to get to either end recently without it crashing on MML. MML passengers off from Fallout, yeah. We got another Avanti there. I definitely want a Pendolino. I want something with a Pendolino. Yeah, I do like the weathering. I like the fact the weathering has been on the last couple of DLCs. And the dirt, etc. Much more authentic. Right, Chatham is next. We might see DTG waving at us as we pull in. Laser jet, something with an 80 in it, yeah. Oh dear, Dave, you still get that penalty. Okay. Could do to go. I've not been on MML for a couple of weeks. So could do to run a few more actually. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Raging Potato. Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. I think some people could just be like that, can't they? So people just need reining in a little bit. Which is a shame because that thread was quite helpful right at the start. Home of the DTG massive. Yeah, I quite like that blue screen actually with that that press. That's quite nice. That it's better like that. Yeah, so I'm going to like 48% brake, then I'm going to 9, then I'm pumping it back up to 46%. I mean, as long as you stop in the right place, then you're all right. But if you're thinking about doing it properly, so the passengers are not being thrown all over, then yeah, just take some time to get used to it. Oh no, Dave! Dave's off with his relationship stories again. Chatham, you married your first wife and divorced her in Chatham, and your eldest daughter was born in Chatham. Ah. You didn't used to live in that submarine, Dave, did you? That's in the dockyards there. At least you did everything in Chatham. You came away with a clean slate. Wait, what? I've just seen Farah's comment. If I have inadvertently talked you into getting a G29, then that is something else. That you always blame me for making your wallet open up for different games that we've looked at. But going and buying a G29, that's another thing that we've reached a new height there. I tell you what though, if you're ever, I mean, I've always been slightly tempted, but what I mean is using the PlayStation in the living room, right? I'm on the settee. I can't. I'm not. I'm kind of sat at an angle to the TV as well. So having pedals in front of me and a steering wheel for the driving games doesn't really work. But if I take the PlayStation upstairs so that I'm facing the monitor, I can do it. I've got a gaming chair upstairs. So, when I think of a wheel in that respect, then yeah, I can do it. But, it was yesterday. It was £230 at Amazon and they've dropped it today in the Prime Day down to 169. It was too tempting. It was far too tempting. I also got a microphone as well. Because usually when I'm like now, for example, I'm talking on the headset, but when I do voiceovers and things like that in the recorded videos, I'm also using the headset. So I needed a proper microphone really. So again, the Elgato Wave 3, which I've researched for ages. I think that came down from about 159 quid yesterday down to 109. So I thought, well, let's just do it now. So I got a microphone as well. Oh, you've got one as well, Hentis, have you? I believe it's a decent wheel. Everybody seems to talk about it, so... This is Gillingham. Good evening, Bartman, how are you? You're being picky, but there's no third rail sparks. Yeah, do you know, I've not looked for that for a while. Yeah, Farah, going back to that, yeah, I watched, even up to yesterday, I was watching a few videos of it. And the fact that it's got, there's two versions, isn't there? There's one that's Xbox PC and there's one that's PlayStation PC. The G29, I think, is the PlayStation one, isn't it? The other one's got a slightly different name. But the fact it's got the PlayStation controller in the middle with all the buttons, brilliant, that. Oh, you got the full whack then, Hentis, there. Ratty's bought a Soundcore Bluetooth speaker, 60 quid off. Yeah, there is some good deals. Yeah, there was a few things I had my eye on. I just put them in a list because I knew the Prime Day was coming up. I just put them in a wish list. Went into the wish list this morning, and there you go. The non-sparkage could be a bug, right? That's interesting. There you go, Bartman. They might fix it then. ETS2 with a wheel. Yeah, I've always said, haven't I, on all the different games, not on ETS2 because I haven't played it, but any of the driving games we've done and the bus sims, I've always said, lots of times I've said on stream, I imagine this is really good if you've got a wheel. It'd be so much better with a wheel. Even though I've not really had room for one, I'm going to make room for it. Well, it's coming tomorrow, so I need to. But yeah, I'm quite looking forward to it. And I think on Amazon, if you're looking for reviews as well, Fire, anyway, I think there's like 5,500 reviews on Amazon. And they're mostly all positive. Let's get some brake on. That is a single. I think it's going to put us to a red, isn't it, outside the station? Because we've got to cross over. Everyone's been on Amazon. Yeah, you're right, Dave. Yeah, it is. It is. I've never had a problem with the controller. I agree with you. I just thought, well, I'll see what it's like with the wheel. I might not look back. I might be too short to reach the pedals or something. That should be all right. I'm 5'9", pretty average height. So, as I say, I've got a gaming chair, so I can adjust the chair for wherever I need to be. Have you got everything for this game, Bartman? Or are you talking about ETS2, or are you talking about TSW? Either way, you could probably spend a small fortune on both, couldn't you? Would love a steering wheel for ETS, but don't quite have the space. Yeah, that's the big thing, isn't it? I mean, I'm not really clear yet on just how much space I'll need, but I could probably leave the pedals under the desk, just sat there, and just disconnect the steering wheel and put it to one side when I'm not using it, because obviously it's in your face, isn't it? Otherwise. They're thinking of getting the play seat with the Thrustmaster wheel. Nice. Don't tell the other half. Right, so this is Rainham. So providing I don't go through the buffers, we should manage to finish this one. Seems a bit stuttery just there coming in. She's unusual. So there we go. That is the Class 700 DLC released today. There's the Avanti again. Look at it. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's nice, that. I can't remember whose livery that is, but it's nice. So yeah, after I was rudely interrupted by the Avanti West Coaster, that is the Class 700 DLC released today. $12.99 is it? I think. And I got silver because I was late, but I quite like that actually. I do. I quite like it. I'm going to enjoy playing that. I've not done any of the scenarios yet. There's 7 scenarios, some of them up to an hour and a half each as well. And there's various different things. You're towing trains and doing all sorts of different things. So I'm quite looking forward to getting to those. So we'll run a bit of that. As I said, a good suggestion earlier on. At some point, if we can do it later this week, we'll do it. We'll run some Nidatal Barn as well by popular request. We'll do that because we've not been on there for ages. And yeah, that's it. So I've enjoyed it. Thank you for giving me the likes, everybody. Thank you for the chat as well. Appreciate it. Farah, I'm sorry if you've bought the wheel. It's today and tomorrow. Today and tomorrow. I just saw what you said. The sale's today and tomorrow. So sorry if you've spent 170 quid while you've been on this stream. 2p for an advert seems like nothing now, doesn't it? But listen, take care, everybody. Thanks for being in. I'll see you again quite soon. All the best. Bye for now.